6 games dating back to the championship against the Talons last year. The good news for them, Amber Pfizer's been really good. She's one of those athletes signed out of the reserve athlete pool, but this has been a very bright spot for them in the circle, and she'll get the start. 7 innings so far on the season, a 3.00 ERA for Pfizer. She'll
walks.
Maya Brady, their leadoff hitter, leads the league with 8 RBIs already. They hit 4 of their league best 10 home runs yesterday. Delaney Wiz, who is slotted right in the heart of this order, was with the Bandits last year, but she was picked up by the Spark in the expansion draft. She hit 2 of those home runs, both of them solo shots. So Brady, Romero, Sherrill, Bubba Nichols, Camarena in front of Wiz, and they will face Amber Pfizer in her 6th professional season. First year with the Bandits, picked up out of the reserve athlete pool. She was actually with the Oklahoma City Spark the last 2 years before they joined the Spark. So maybe seeing a couple of her, before they joined the AUSL, maybe seeing some of her old teammates.
When you heard Jocelyn Eric, Delaney Wiz, 4 home runs for the Spark.
Here is Maya Brady to lead things off, and it looks like last year she didn't have a lot of at-bats. She didn't play a lot last year, was banged up at the early part of the season for the Talons, and then came in, had 11 hits in just 6 regular season games, drove in 5 runs, and lifted a trophy with the now Utah Talons. But she was unable to be protected. They protected 3 of their pitchers, Hannah Flippin and Charlize Palacios, so Maya Brady was the first off the board in the expansion draft. Another packed house at Parkway Bank Sports Complex. These fans hoping for a bit more of a show. They were energetic when they could be yesterday, but the Spark got on the Bandits so quickly that there wasn't a whole lot to cheer for the home crowd. Let's play some softball. Windy day, cloudy day here in Rosemont, Illinois. Had rain earlier this morning, but our expectation, hopefully, is that weather has passed, but I don't think we're going to get too warm today. See if the Chicago Bandits can get on the board with their first win of 2026. Second best record in the league last year, and lost in the championship to the Talons, 2 games to none in a best-of-3 series. Strike 1 from Pfizer. Misses high for ball 1. Bandits starters have had some issues. They've been really good typically out of the bullpen, at least in the opening series against the Talons, but they have struggled to get quality starts. Brady takes outside corner, strike 2.
I remember Jocelyn Erickson was talking to Amber Pfizer about working that river to chalk line, just like the pitch right there on the outside corner to Maya Brady, trying to get a little bit off the edge of the plate. We'll continue to try to look for that. That's the thing that I think Amber Pfizer has done such a good job of early this season, is working more off the plate, not making very many mistakes, even to the point where maybe she gives up some free passes because of it early in the season. She's just trying to settle in and figure out the strike zone, see how far off the plate that she can get. And Amber Pfizer is a pitcher that will rely mostly on a lot of different variations of her curveball, being able to throw that as an off-speed pitch as well as a backdoor curveball, mix the ball up in the zone with her rise a little bit as well.
Just missing on the outside corner that time. That ball more on the chalk than in the river. 3-2 count to Brady to start the game. We saw Maya down in the count 1-2. That was kind of a trend yesterday in the first inning for Bree Copeland as the Bandits starter, but she was unable to punch some of these batters out. And now it is a walk to Brady to lead things off.
That was just missed there at Amber Pfizer. I think can't believe it. That is a pitch that she got called, it seemed to me, got called earlier in the count, didn't get it there, but that is an even better eye by Maya Brady. However, in order to have success against this explosive Spark team, that's a pitch she's going to have to get called.
Ball 1 to Sydney Romero, who has become the everyday shortstop for this Oklahoma City Spark team. We've seen Sid a lot at third, a little bit at second as well in her professional career. Tremendous athlete, now a 6th-year pro from Murrieta, California. Played her college ball at Oklahoma. She's currently an assistant coach at Oregon under Missy Lombardi. Ground ball left side. little hesitation by Williams at a low throw, and it's going to be an early defensive miscue for the Bandits. This haunted them a little bit in the opening series, and it comes back to bite them here in the first inning.
Well, the thing that threw all of this off was the fact that Maya Brady was running on the pitch, so she's going to go ahead and get a much quicker lead than what Sammy Williams expected from her. So no play at second base, forced her to rush her throw to first base, not set her feet properly, and pull Taryn Kern off of the bag at first base. And then Maya Brady going to go ahead and work her way all the way to third.
Sydney Sherrill swinging first pitch. That is strike one. It does go down as an error on the third baseman, Sammy Williams. Sydney Sherrill was one of their 3 home run hitters yesterday, the only one that was not a member of the Bandits last year. Sherrill actually played for the Spark last year. Outside, the throw down from Erickson, and now trouble. Maya Brady going to play with the defense over at third. I think Aaron Koffel said, we're not going to take any chances here. We're going to run you back to first.
First and third situations, every softball infielder has a love-hate relationship with these, as well as base runners. Sydney Romero throws on the brakes, trying to get herself into a rundown to see how the Bandits are going to play it, and trying to lure them into making a throw, and they did not, because once they would have made a throw against her, got distracted from Maya Brady at third base, and she would have gone ahead and tried to take home.
Do you like Koffel just hanging on to it there and running the runner back?
Yeah, that's best thing to do, especially after an error was already committed in this inning.
Saw Pfizer dance out of some jams in the opening series against the Talons, made 2 appearances against Utah. 7 innings pitched, just 4 hits allowed and 3 strikeouts. Her opponent batting average in those 2 appearances was just 154. Sydney Sherrill, a 5th-year pro, actually playing not far from home. She's from Moore, Oklahoma, played her college ball at Florida State. Fouls this off herself. Oh.
Amber Flores, the head coach of the Spark, there to talk to her. Amber Flores, a terrific player that played at OU. Has probably taken 1 or 2 off of her own leg, so understands the pain that that can cause in the middle of an at-bat.
2-2 to Sherrill. Kind of off the end of the bat. Circle slides in to make the play. Brady's going to come home, and she's going to score.
Remember yesterday, Spark were so good with 2 strikes. Just a productive out here by Sydney Sherrill to get this outside pitch well off the plate and be able to poke it out to left field. That somehow is deep enough with Maya Brady's speed to be able to score her. Just a couple of mistakes here. You know, free pass to Maya Brady on some pitches that I thought should have been called strikes against her, but calls go her way. Brady takes the walk. There's an error after that, and it leads to a quick Spark run.
Bubba Nichols Camarena down in the count 2-0. Second best power hitter in the league a year ago at 7 home runs, 18 RBIs as a member of this Bandits team. One of 3 Bandits selected by the Spark in the expansion draft. Three-run home run in the first inning yesterday. Takes inside 3-1. Just feels like the Bandits needed a reset after yesterday. Didn't go their way really quickly, and then game was at about 1 hour and 27 minutes long. It was the fastest game in Athletes Unlimited history.
Absolutely flew by. And the thing about their home runs, that the way that they hit yesterday, they were swinging early in the count too. But you know, they were great with 2 strikes. Like, they were aggressive when they needed to be, and then with 2 strikes, they were tough outs. They just did not give in easily. 12 hits that the Spark had yesterday.
That is strike 3 on the inside corner to Bubba, and there's 2 outs. But Romero does take second.
Jocelyn Erickson trying to frame up this pitch for a little bit longer. They get the call off the inside corner, and then of course too, Bubba Nichols Camarena walking in front of her before that throw.
First stolen base of the year for the Spark belongs to Sydney Romero. Conference here with the Bandits head coach Shonda Stanton and her infield.
It's a really young infield that she's talking to right now. Rookie back behind the plate, and Erickson, complete rookie right side with Agbayani at second and Taryn Kern at first.
The most veteran of the group is Sammy Williams, the third baseman. This is her first year on the Bandits, and it's her first year in the AUSL. And then Erin Koffel, who was the MVP last year, is just in her third professional season. So you're talking about a 24, 25-year-old as your second most veteran presence on the infield. A really good one at that.
Really good.
First pitch in the air off the bat of Wiz, back to the track and off the wall. Delaney Wiz continues to rake against her old team, and that's going to go down as an RBI triple for Delaney. She is 4 for 4, a triple, and 2 home runs in the series.
Well, and that is the third triple for the Spark in these 2 games. The wind is always a nuisance here at this field, and right now it's going from left to right, and I think difficult for these outfielders to track down balls accurately with the way that it's going to move any ball in the air around.
Another frustrating start for the Bandits in game 2 of this series. Now Jessie Warren, another one that was added out of the expansion draft, but she came over from the Texas Volts. You see the comparison at the top of this order. That was really the difference yesterday. It's the top 5 in each order, the production that they saw.
This is the key to the first game. 1 through 5 hitters for the Spark were absolutely on fire. 4 home runs, had all those RBIs. But 1 through 5 for the Bandits, 0 for 10, 6 strikeouts, only had a couple of walks. So in 1 through 5, the top half of the Spark offense has just been on a roll.
The defense has struggled for the Bandits as well. Both runs in this inning unearned. If you go back to the first series with the Talons, I think you and I talked after that there were probably some more unearned runs in there as well. This is the 3rd full count. Warren to Koffel at short, and she takes care of it. But the Spark strike first for the 2nd consecutive day. 2-0. Finished her college career at Mississippi State. Just 1 season there after 3 years at Chattanooga. Was excellent on one of the best pitching staffs in the country for Taryn McKinney.
Yeah, helping lead Mississippi State to its first ever Women's College World Series appearance, 10 days ago. She can really spin it. You're going to see this ball dance around. She just spins it maybe better than anybody in her game right now. Alicia Ocasio has great movement and great spin. She pitches for the Blaze. And Gold has some crazy movement that you'll see at times that looks like a wiffle ball with how much it moves.
She will see Morgan Zirkle to lead things off. That is ball 1 outside to one of the best hitters in the league. Zirkle held hitless yesterday, but did walk 1 time. We showed you the top 5 in the order. 0 for 10 for the Bandits yesterday. Zirkle on the board. A base hit through the left side. They need a response.
That was a hard hit ball off of her bat too. 78 miles an hour, squaring one up to start things out.
From Zirkle to Koffel, and then Kern and Erickson, couple rookies. Mary Jacopo hit her first home run of the season, a blast to center field yesterday for their lone run in that 9-1 run rule loss. Erin Koffel takes strike 1 from Gould. Koffel, a rare day for her yesterday. Not just 0 for 3, but struck out twice. As ball one low in the turf here in Rosemont. Wind continues to gust from left to right pretty aggressively. Much cooler day today. You can see the movement on that pitch, just didn't get back in the strike zone, but it really dances.
There's a spin rate of about 2,400 RPM, which is very high.
3-1. Strike two. Erin Koffel walked 6 times in the opening series against the Talents. She hit 500, but she was only 3 for 6 because she had so many free passes. You talked about the rookie bats needing to step up, and that's one of the reasons why. But Koffel sees one she likes here and sends it out into left field. So the first 2 are aboard for Chicago.
Yeah, just a good at-bat of making Peja Gould bring up her pitches in the zone. She gets a curveball that is coming in at 59 miles an hour, and she's just able to stay with it. Slightly out in front of that, but sees one that's up in the zone and tries to make the most of it. And now 2 on for the Bandits trying to answer back, and already a quick timeout being called by Amber Flores and Courtney Martinez to come out and talk to the pitching staff and the defense. Peja Gould, and he had his eye on her.
How many times, really in the opening 3 games for the Bandits, did we see the door was open to really kind of kick it in from an offensive perspective? They're down 2 runs here, so they're not going to do that with one swing. But nobody out, top of your order, rookie pitcher in the circle. They need a big inning. Kern takes strike one, 1-1 count.
Well, these 2 rookies are put into a big position, hitting 3 and 4 in the order, the run driver inners, providers with Taryn Kern and Jocelyn Erickson. Like, they have to step up and score some runs. And Jenny Dalton-Hill, she wasted no time telling us before the opening game that our season is dependent upon the 3 rookies that we have in the lineup. They've continued to put them in the 3 and 4 holes. A lot of belief in Taryn Kern and Jocelyn Erickson, both lefty power hitters hitting back-to-back.
Off the end of the bat, foul. There's big shoes to fill, too, because the shoes they are stepping into, one of them's behind the plate, Delaney Wiz, who got selected in the expansion draft. The other one's out in left field, Bubba Nichols Camarena, who were both Bandits last year. And the other one is Sydney McKinney, who's still waiting to return from her Japanese professional league season. But she was the batting champion last year, led the league in average. 3-2 count to Kern. Takes ball 4.
I just kind of feel like we're missing some pitches here early in this game. That looked like a strike to me. I'm not really sure where that pitch missed. You see it on Delaney Wiz's face, and it's a tough situation now. She does not get the call with the bases loaded now.
This is a big spot for Jocelyn Erickson, who had so many opportunities in the first series with runners in scoring position. She was just 1 for 8 in that opening series. So 8 of her 10 at-bats came with runners in scoring position. None have been bigger than this spot right here. And you know what Erickson can do. Massive run producer, had 74 RBIs as a senior for Tim Walton at Florida this year.
Nobody in the league has had more opportunities early on this season with runners in scoring position than Jocelyn Erickson. 9 at-bats. She's leading the league with at-bats with runners in scoring position, and just 1 hit to show for it. In second place would be Tori Vidalis behind her with 7 at-bats with runners in scoring position of the Portland Cascade.
One-two count. The Bandits are 0 for 3 with the bases loaded. Had an opportunity against the Talons with nobody out and could not come through in that series. Back up the middle off of Gould, and Erickson is aboard to score the first run for the Bandits.
Jocelyn Erickson, of course, has hit against Paige Gould when she was at Florida, so familiar with her, has some experience off of it. Not an easy pitch to get to at all. It's a pitcher's pitch, but Paige Gould just cannot handle that ball off the end of the bat with the bases loaded. Could have been an out at home. So it hits off of her glove and could be a run for Chicago.
It will go down as an RBI single for Erickson, and the Bandits needed something like that, just a bounce to go their way. So 4 years at Duke. She is out of the reserve athlete pool, but had a really good start to her career. Couple relief outings in the opening series, went a total of 4 innings and gave up just 1 earned run. It was on a solo home run. That's been a great fill-in, because it's not just the Bandits who are missing 3 pitchers right now of their usual 5, but the Spark are as well. So she is one of a trio of rookies joining their duo, their rookie duo, who will stay with the team for the rest of the season.
It's so hard to believe that the Spark have an all-rookie pitching staff.
And they're 3-1. 2-0 just misses. 3-0. Kurt was asking where that is.
These pitchers trying to figure out this strike zone, and it's going to be a bit frustrating, and honestly it's going to cause for a really long game with how tight this zone is being called. And we need some more pitches to be getting called here. Pitches that we've seen called in the first 4 games.
That was a 4-pitch walk out of the bullpen for Kern. She thought a couple were on the corner. You see the numbers so far. She's really been one of their most productive in her 2 relief outings. This is her 3rd. Maya Johnson has been unbelievable so far.
Saw her get the start yesterday. She also got the start on opening day. She continues to throw complete games, which is so hard to do in this league. But her opening day was a complete game win against the Volts. Ruby Malin came in relief of her and through the last inning in yesterday's game, but she easily could have continued to go the distance.
Mary Jacopo lets it go. Big swing from Mary yesterday on the solo home run, the lone run of the game for the Bandits. Struggled at the plate last year, just 3 hits and walked 3 times. She kind of became the everyday catcher down the stretch in place of Jordan Roberts, who retired at the conclusion of last season. But Mary goes down looking for the first out of the inning here.
And then now we get the call. See, this is, I think, going to just frustrate the hitters and the pitchers if it's not going to be called consistently, because now the hitters are going to take this pitch because they didn't see it called earlier in the inning. So Mary Jacopo strikes out, and Cassidy Kurt gets a much-needed out.
This is a dangerous bat at the plate, and one that would have seen Curd in Fayetteville just a couple weeks ago in Super Regionals. Arkansas beat Duke to reach their first ever Women's College World Series. Tiana Bell was on that Arkansas team. This one gets away from Wiz, and Kern is going to come in to score. The Bandits lead 3-2.
And able to get this crowd into it. Yesterday, the Sparks scored so early and so often, it completely took this home crowd out of it. It was opening day here. Now these fans want to cheer for their home team, able to tie up this game and get these fans a little bit louder and behind their home team.
2-0 to Bell. It's kind of off the handle to Sydney Sherrill, and there's 2 outs. Cassidy Curd is an out away from doing a very nice job in relief and limiting this damage. You would think this is a all hands on deck situation. There's an off day tomorrow. This series will be concluded on Tuesday night. So you saw the quick change to Curd, and you would expect anyone would be ready to come in for the Spark.
You know, a lot of lefties in this Chicago lineup. They're going up against the lefty, and Curd. She'll throw a curveball and a rise ball, her best 2 pitches.
Jumps ahead of Jessica Clements, one of those lefties you're talking about, 0-2. Bandits trying to continue their first inning run of success. 13 total runs this year, 9 of them have come in the first frame. That's been really maybe the interesting part. They have started off really hot, and then Shonda Stanton even talked to us after the first night with Montana Fouts. They scored 2 off of her, didn't score the rest of the time, and she said they just won the chess match after that. The adjustments that they have made throughout the game maybe haven't been there.
Big hit here would really get this crowd into it. You can just tell they are itching to cheer for their home team. It's nice that we have these home markets this year. Last year we had 4 teams and we're playing all over the country. This year we have home markets for the first time.
These 2 teams are really the 2 that have somewhat of an established fan base. The Spark joined the league this year. This is their 4th year of existence, though. The Bandits, of course, have a great history. Shonda Stanton trying to write some more of it this year in her first season as their head coach for their general manager, Jenny Dalton-Hill. Another foul ball from Clements, and she has to like the fight she's seen from her hitters early in this game today.
And she is just sticking with this curveball in this lefty-on-lefty matchup. Cassidy Kerr trying to throw a couple balls off the plate and seeing if she can get Clements to chase. She's continuing to work that outside corner against her. We'll see if Clements can make an adjustment.
Hard hit that will get into center field. Stanton's going to test the arm of Brady. And no good. They do score another one, but that will be the mentality of Shonda Stanton. They want to run. They want to be aggressive. And they find themselves up 4-2.
Someone else who I know handles their hair seriously is Amber Pfizer. She's superstitious about 2 things. One of them is that sparkly red headband that you see her wear. She'll also wear blue, and she's working on adding black into the rotation, but she will always have a sparkly headband on. And number 2 is that bubble braid. She told me she changes the bubble braid when they lose, and when they win, it stays the same. Today, you'll see she's got a bunch of loose ones. She'll braid one or the other if they're losing, and I know that Bandits fans are hoping that braid stays the same tomorrow.
Yeah, it really is like the same hairstyle that you're used to seeing from her days at Minnesota. And there's the Sephora braid bar that Anna and I were hanging out at.
This is hit deep into center field off the wall. It's going to be a loud single for the leadoff Haley Lee, their first baseman today.
The other thing that I think that Amber Pfizer will consistently do, wasn't mentioned, but I feel like I'm used to seeing her wear a big scrunchie in her hair at the top. You see the red one there. I feel like I'm used to seeing that from her, and a sparkly headband, which I partook in as well. When I was playing at Texas A&M, I had the same sparkly headband all 4 years that I played.
Same one.
The exact same one. It was definitely didn't have the elasticity.
Yeah, it sounds right.
By the 4th year, and it was definitely very dirty, but it was the same one.
That was my concern, is the hygiene of the headband or the scrunchie. This goes into right field, but Lee just crawling to get back on her feet.
And I feel like Jenny Finch was the one that made the sparkly headband famous. Everybody would get her branded ones, and now I feel like there have been so many offshoots of them.
Visit in the circle. This is actually going to be one of the assistant coaches, Alex Ibarra, who's been a longtime contributor on coaching staffs and as a facilitator for Athletes Unlimited in the past. So he's going to come out and have a quick visit with the infield.
Well, I feel like you're already seeing some more timeouts from the Bandits coaching staff in this game than what we were used to in the first 4 games. I think maybe making a concerted effort to go out and talk to this young infield, make sure that they stay level-headed and steady and believing in each other and believing in themselves.
1-1 count now to Billy Andrews. Takes that pitch low, ball 2. I don't want to say the alarm bells are ringing. It's still early, but it's early in a short season. There's 25 games. We've played 4 of them. The Bandits are 0-4. And these teams are looking really good around the league. So, again, I don't think they're panicking, but at some point, they're going to have to dig in and get some wins.
It's just trying different things. How can we be better today? And I think that that is going to be a way that they're trying to be better, is by having young infield a little bit more, calm them down, keep them thinking about the next play.
Strike 3 looking on a nice pitch from Pfizer. The backwards K, her second. Strike 1 to Grace Jenkins, the 9 spot. It was a good chance to play probably the entire summer with this Spark team, despite being one of those picked up out of the reserve athlete pool. But with Kinsey Hansen-McKenzie on the temporary inactive list, who would be expected to be their everyday catcher, you would imagine it is Jenkins, who has caught herself as an outfielder, would be the one that stays in her place.
Jocelyn Erickson is doing a really nice job back behind the plate, working more outside to these left-handed hitters, trying to get around the curveball that Amber Pfizer is throwing these lefties on the outer half. Something that I've noticed an adjustment from her. There's an off-speed curveball, so a good version of it. She's working more in that right-handed batter's box, setting up even more outside, trying to get around these pitches to allow Amber Pfizer a nice target on the outside corner to get it called.
You got to be willing to hype yourself up when you have that first conversation, right? As your Amber Pfizer and Jocelyn Erickson comes to you and says, what's the best pitch? What is your favorite thing to do? What do you like? I mean, you got to be, this is where I'm best right here.
Well, and with this strike zone, it's a little bit wider than what you're going to see in the college game. And because of that, I think Jocelyn Erickson, a rookie, is going to work even further out than what she did at Florida a couple of weeks ago. But you'll see her, especially as a lefty, really try to get her glove around those outside pitches to these left-handed hitters, trying to give Amber Pfizer the confidence to throw more in the river, or in between the river and the chalk line of the batter's box.
Fourth full count for Pfizer. Swing and a miss. Erickson did run it a little further out there and got Jenkins.
And that was all set up because Amber Pfizer wants to work on the outside corner with her backdoor curveball and with her drop ball, which is this pitch here. It runs away from Jenkins to get her to chase that pitch down and out of the strike zone, but you can tell how hard Jocelyn Erickson is working for Pfizer.
Slow roller off the bat of Brady, and a clean second inning for Amber Pfizer. The Chicago Bandits trying to settle in. Their bats coming up. That key deal this year, so many games on the ESPN family of networks, as Agbayani lays down the bunt, and she is on with a bunt single.
Jessie Warren even getting to that bunt and just finding a way to get the ball out of her hand is unbelievable. Jessie Warren is one of the best third basemen to ever play our game defensively, and the way she just attacks everything, line drives, ground balls, bunts, she is all over it at third base. And again, in bunt situation, she's charging hard at third base. There's just not a lot that can get past her. And I totally understand that she did not make the out at first base, and a great bunt put down by Agbayani, but it's just the effort that she gives to make any play come at her.
Zirkle falls behind quickly, 0-2. She started it in the first inning for the Bandits, a single and a run scored. Fights off this pitch.
And that bunt kind of took away from Commissioner Ng and all the great things that she has done for this league. And AUSL is, always designed with the athletes at the center as well. She does a good job of keeping the athletes communicating and having them have a big say and working together.
Chopper left side for Warren, backs up and makes a strong throw to someone she is very familiar with, Sydney Sherrill over at second base. They won that national championship together in 2018 at Florida State. There they are. Sydney Sherrill was an unbelievable freshman on that national championship winning team. She has also become, when Florida State is in Oklahoma City, the best cheerleader in OKC for the Seminoles.
Yeah, she's from Oklahoma, so has some ties to the state and wants to go watch FSU play in the Women's College World Series when they're there. She'll show up at some home games too in Florida. Big fan.
I think the alumni there are just drawn back to their head coach, Lonnie Alameda, who makes such a lasting connection with those athletes. One of the best coaches in the sport. Been doing it a long time. Aaron Koffel fouls this down the left side. Now to play. 1-2 count. Cassidy Curd trying to settle things down for the Spark in the second inning, just like Pfizer did for the Bandits. Another foul ball from Koffel. One of the other things, going back to the commissioner, Kim Ang, that they did was, I thought they really did a good job of finding the balance in the expansion and the allocation draft. When the Spark came in and the Cascade got announced, they had 0 players on their roster, so you have to open up some of the other teams to try and fill those as Koffel flares this in right, and he gets over the head of Jenkins. Koffel rounds first. She's chasing Zirkle, and Zirkle is going to hold at third base with just 1 out.
Erin Koffel does a good job of recognizing this changeup out of the hand of Cassidy Curd. She has not thrown this pitch a lot, but able to sit back on it, keep her front shoulder on it, and drive it the other way. Grace Jenkins runs in on that, and this Erin Koffel hard hit ball just continues to move past her. I even think that Erin Koffel thought that that was just going to be a line drive out to right field, and Grace Jenkins in right field has been playing really shallow. She's shallow right now as we sit here and have this conversation, especially compared to Bubba Nichols-Camarena out in left field. Actually, all of the outfielders shallow right now. A lot of area back behind them and a lot of area over on the right field line.
Kind of played like that yesterday too, and it didn't hurt him. The Bandits didn't do a lot offensively. For Grace Jenkins, though, this is one of her first times playing on this field too, so this win can be a bit of a nightmare if you're an outfielder here in Rosemont. 0-2 to Kern.
Well, we also talked about the top of the order for the Bandits and how quiet they were in yesterday's game. 0 for 10 hitters 1 through 5 with 6 strikeouts. Already today, all 4 of the top 4 hitters in the lineup have scored. All 5 have reached already.
Kern goes down swinging. It's an important second out for Cassidy Curd in her second strikeout.
Getting her to chase this curveball in the right-handed batter's box, even with Taryn Kern right on top of the plate.
Some MLB action coming your way shortly over on ABC and the ESPN app. The Chicago Cubs in San Francisco to take on the Giants. That game set for first pitch at 3 Eastern. Our 2 teams are facing off right now, Astros and Royals.
They sure are.
Little bragging rights in the booth. I say Jocelyn Erickson did go around on that first pitch. 0-1 count against Cassidy Curd. A lot of rookie matchups in this one.
Yeah, Curd's definitely starting to feel this curveball, the consistency with that pitch, the command to these lefties. So many lefties in the Bandits order. In fact, all of them are left-handed, except for 4 today. Yesterday it was 3. They snuck in another righty into the lineup with Tiana Bell.
Cassidy Curd's got a chance to excel as a pro. You surround her with a great staff. You look at her numbers this year at Duke. ERA is a little elevated, but she was a workhorse for them, and you would imagine a lot of the prep that went into series, especially in the ACC with teams that had seen her, was for Cassidy Curd, because you knew that's who was going to have to throw for Duke a lot.
Yeah, I really like the way that she's performed since her freshman year. I saw her as just a baby when she was pitching at Duke, and she came out really hot.
In the air to left field, Wynn pushing it on Bubba Nichols-Camarena, but makes the play. So Cassidy Kerr, job done.
Not have had it any other way. As Sydney Romero, who also loves Jo Evans, she's been raving about her as an associate head coach for the Spark, and has talked to me a lot about her. But I just absolutely loved playing for her. I cannot imagine playing for anybody else. She taught me so much about the game, so much about how I broadcast and see the game, a competitive self. I could just go on and on and on about her. I just adore her.
And she's still going. She just finished her 4th season at UC Santa Barbara. She was 27 years at the helm at Texas A&M, went to 3 Women's College World Series. You were on 2 of those teams, right?
2 of them, yep. 2007 and 2008. And I love that she's getting a chance to coach in a professional league like this, and the value that she adds to the Spark, just how calm, the calmness that she brings to the game is something that Sydney Romero even talked to me about, saying that she can get so frustrated sometimes, and she looks over to Coach Evans and she's able just to get her back in the right mindset.
They couldn't get 2, but they do get the lead runner there. Cheryl is on after the fielder's choice. And one of the other ties in the league then with Texas A&M is the Cascade general manager, Jamie Loprise, who would have also played with you at Texas A&M, very familiar with Jo Evans. And these 2 teams will match up. Spark will head to Portland on Wednesday, and that series begins on Thursday.
Well, and Tori Vidalis, too, played for Coach Evans, and Mari Harper got recruited by Coach Evans. Mari Harper on the Spark got a golden ticket out of Oregon. And she wears a helmet down there because even before I got to Texas A&M, which was in 2005, so either think the late 90s or early 2000s, she got hit with a very serious line drive coaching third. And she is one of the first and one of the only that you see down there in the third base coach's box wearing a helmet, because she had terrible vertigo for a long time. It really affected her. And so, of course, she's going to wear a helmet.
1-2 count for Bubba Nichols-Camarena. Takes down and away, 2-2.
Trying to get the strikeout cheer going here at the Bandit Stadium, just missing that off-speed curveball a little bit low in the zone.
We saw some of those traditions in Salt Lake City as well. Now the Chicago Bandits fans starting up some of their own as Bubba fights off that pitch. And the wind is picking up. It is a chilly wind. It's about 68 degrees here in Rosemont.
That wind is blowing hard. So it says 18 miles an hour and wind gust of 30 miles an hour. I feel like we're back in Utah in Salt Lake City. This is what we saw, except that wind was blowing straight in. This one's blowing across.
3-2, Bubba fights it off again.
And you'll hear the fans here at Chicago, their strikeout chant is "Yee, yee." And then hopefully on a strikeout, which we've had, 3 so far, they go "ha." So yeehaw, for the Bandits.
We had the Caws in Utah and the Haws in Chicago. That is going to get over the head of Agbayani, and it gets out past Bell as well, and both runners advance. No one scores on the play, but it's just one of those defensive miscues that we've seen from Chicago early this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing if this ball falls. It's another thing if it gets past the outfielder, Tiana Bell, not able to keep it in front. So it's a tricky read. Tiana Bell, new to this team, new to this field. This is an all-turf field, so it's going to take a bigger bounce than what you're used to on a grass infield, or grass outfield, I should say.
Now Delaney Wiz, no one the Bandits would want to see less than Delaney Wiz right now, who has 4 hits in 4 at-bats. 3 of them are extra base hits, 2 home runs, a triple earlier in this game. And Wiz couldn't believe that strike call, falls behind 0-2. Takes a deep breath before she steps into the batter's box. Whiz out to left center field. It's not going to have enough, and it's caught, but it will have enough to score Cheryl from third. So Delaney Whiz got herself into a tough spot with a couple calls she didn't love, but still delivers.
Still executing. Second sacrifice fly that the Spark have put in the air. And again, this wind is blowing so hard. Jessica Clemens thought that this is going to be more just a straight left field, but the wind is blowing from left to right, so it pulls her more toward left center. Have to keep those feet moving at all times in the outfield right now.
See Clemens talking to her center fielder Morgan Zirkle. Those two, of course, new teammates as well. 1-1 count now to Jessie Warren. Jessie has reached in all 4 games this year, trying to continue that streak here. Foul ball to fall behind, 1-2. Amber Fizer's confidence in herself and the way she approaches these hitters is just so high. And you see, even with the 2 runs scored in the first, somewhat of a fearless mentality. She was so excited on opening day, ready to get going. Off the handle of Warren, Koffel on the move. She is so smooth at shortstop. Spark get one back. Bandits coming up next in the box.
It's honestly been really fun and a really fun challenge for me to just get to know all of them in such a short amount of time. But they've been great, very open-minded, and they're just competitors, honestly.
Sammy Williams leads off the 3rd inning for Chicago.
Yeah, Cass. Hey, I see you.
Delaney, you've caught your senior year at UCLA, and you've caught some in the pros here and there. What's really been your history of being a catcher, even when you were growing up and through high school? Take us through that.
I actually never caught until my junior year of college. Oh, that's a good spot. Yeah, Coach I at UCLA pulled me into her office during practice one day, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to try catching?" I was like, not really, but I'll give it a go. So, yes, good spot, Cass. From there, it kind of just stuck, and then there was like a stint of like 4 or 5 years where I didn't really catch it all in the pro league, and now we're back to it. So. It's exciting. It's a little bit of a challenge, just seeing the game from a different perspective, but I'm really enjoying it. I see you.
When you started learning from Kelly Inouye Perez, your head coach at UCLA, who was also a catcher, what did you feel like was the hardest part? Blocking, framing, throws to second? Like, what did you think was the toughest part?
For me, it was definitely the blocking piece. As a corner infielder, like everything in me, everything in me just wants to pick everything. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but as a catcher, there are moments in the game where you absolutely have to block. So that was definitely the hardest part for me, I would say. Yeah, Cass, hit a spot, let's go.
Into left center field, and Maya Brady back to the track to make the catch. Tell us about linking up with Maya Brady on this team, and really the whole team in general, because you were with the Bandits last year, so a lot of familiar faces on that side, certainly a familiar jersey, but what has the group been like to get involved with Oklahoma City?
Yeah, it's so exciting. Just having Coach Kirk as our GM this year, he did a really good job of just getting a good group of women together. So it's obviously really exciting to be back with former teammates at UCLA, but make a play, bub. Three! Hey, we're good, Cass. Hey, we're good. Hey, we're working, Cass. Hey, we got one.
So runner on second with one away for the Bandits. It's a pinch runner, Elon Butler, that will take the place of Mary Jacopo after the double.
And Delaney, you kind of had a similar conversation with Kirk Walker about catching this year, maybe a little bit more than you anticipated, right? How did that conversation go?
Yeah, obviously when the expansion draft happened, expansion and allocation draft, we had Kinsey Hansen on our roster. We still have her on our roster. But she is expecting a baby boy. So that kind of changed our plans as far as who would, just be getting time behind the plate. So for me, obviously my load is a little bit bigger than I was anticipating here. But like I said, I'm enjoying the process of it, getting to learn, and just being able to like grow in my own game. This is challenging me in my own game. So,
That time.
All right, here we go. Yeah, Cass.
It's also a challenge to call pitches and talk to us. So it's like a challenge on top of a challenge on top of a challenge in doing this. So you're doing a great job.
Thank you. There's a block for you.
Perfect.
You did pick one really nicely, like reached out to your left earlier and just scooped it up like it was nothing.
Thank you. Yeah, blocking is just like, it's not second nature to me. So it's just something that I've had to, yes, so good. Something that I just had to like, honestly, it's like a mindset for me. It's like, okay, got to block this pitch if it's in the dirt. But other times I'm just like, oh, I can pick it. I can get away with that.
2-1 count to Tiana Bell, the rookie out of Arkansas.
Yeah, Cass.
Thought just maybe you were going to have a chance for something there.
Just a little bit too far out.
I'm impressed that you knew the expansion and allocation draft. So I want to ask you, expansion draft comes, you know that you're possibly going to be moving teams. What were you doing that night? What was your reaction when you heard your name called?
Yeah, I think there was just like a lot of emotions. Hey, we're good, Cass. We're working here. I think there were just a lot of emotions going into that night, knowing that obviously I loved my team with the Bandits. I think we had a really good group of girls. But going into that, knowing like I could possibly get chosen or selected for a different team, I knew that could be a possibility. So obviously my name was called and I was really excited about it, but that's just like what comes with our sport and our pro sport growing. Like this is just what it's going to have to look like for the next few years. So it's exciting for our game to keep growing like this. Yeah, Cass!
Driven off the bat of Bell, and it's her first professional home run. A two-run shot off the bat of Tiana Bell to extend the Bandits' lead. And we appreciate Delaney Wiz's time. The Spark catcher always willing to talk to us behind the dish. What a moment there for Tiana Bell.
Tiana Bell has so much power, and she provided that power to Arkansas's lineup this year. Her and Dakota Kennedy both transferred into Arkansas, and as for their swings, big swing. She has great bat speed, explosive power for this rookie who gets to see her first professional home run. Fly off of her bat, goes down and gets that curveball. She is on time with it. Telling you what, Tiana Bell has some pop in her bat, and the Bandits needed that swing to extend this lead.
Let's go down to 63 runs. It was something the Bandits need. They needed somebody who can change the game with one swing. They were already winning in this game, so now trying to build on that. Bell does so with a two-run home run. Somebody who played at 2 different schools, but in 3 different conferences. Started her career at Cal in the Pac-12, then they moved to the ACC, and then she went to Arkansas and played in the SEC. We also have a new pitcher in the game for Oklahoma City. Cassidy Kerr departs. And this is Lindsey Grine, another rookie out of Oregon. From Mokina, Illinois. That is about 40 miles straight south of Rosemont. Her sister Sydney also played college softball at Ohio and finished up with her last 2 years at Oregon. Was excellent.
So many things to talk about. Oh my gosh, thinking about Tiana Bell, that swing, the rookies in this Bandits lineup stepping up. Lindsey Grine entering into the circle. I'm going to give a different look here with her rise ball, and she also gets to play now on the same team as her former coach at Oregon, the shortstop, Sydney Romero. Getting to spend some time with the Oregon Ducks, of course, for several years, and then now playing professionally together. What a transition that is for several players in the AUSL who were just playing in college and now are playing with or against one of their coaches on their coaching staff they were just with.
We saw Nigeri Kennedy make her professional debut earlier today in Carolina. The first batter that she faced was Kayla Kowalik, who was her assistant coach at Texas Tech, who hit a double. And then the very next batter is another one who's very familiar with her, Reese Atwood, who is the rookie out of Texas.
There's so many things happening today, and we still have another game left later tonight where the Cascade will be taking on the Talons in Utah a little bit later. Love it. But there are 4 rookies now in this offensive starting lineup for Chicago. To play a big part mixed in with these veterans like Morgan Zirkle, who led the league in home runs, and the MVP of Aaron Koffel.
That is foul tip. Nice job by Delaney Wiz to squeeze that behind the plate. That wasn't your traditional foul tip. That was up in the zone.
Yeah, a tough one to handle. Lindsey Grine's rise ball, she can throw this pitch on multiple different levels. Actually did it hit off of the bat and then into the glove of Delaney Wiz. Just tripped it up. Great catch. We were just talking with her. I just thought that conversation was so awesome for Delaney Wiz to take some time and call pitches and handle so many things all at the same time while talking to us. And then now getting to catch a new pitcher in this inning. Bandits were able to make some adjustments after that second time through the order against Cassidy Kerr to knock her out of the game to get to Grine in this one.
2 outs for Ilana Agbayani. And she jumps ahead 2-0 in the count. Reached on a bunt single back in the second inning. It was her second professional hit. She was 0 for 2 yesterday and just 1 for 10 in the opening series. She was thinking about the bunt right there. Instead, it is a 3-0 count. Well, a little bit of improvement today for the Bandits.
Definitely. 3 for 7 also with runners in scoring position.
Shonda Stanton has to love that maybe some of their conversations coming to fruition now, what they've been preaching and talking about. They had a training camp that was a little under 2 weeks, but that's a short amount of time to try and get used to all these new faces, a new head coach, and what she wants and how she wants it. .3-2 count for Lindsey Grine. And got the outside corner, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Mistakes. She told me, wrapped in gratitude and resilience, Anna. That's how we operate here.
Amber Flores now in her 4th year as the head coach of the Spark, but a great perspective on it as someone who was an excellent player in her own right, as a 3-time All-American at Oklahoma. She was the former number 5 overall pick in the 2010 National Pro Fastpitch draft.
And she's done it as a professional player. She's done it as a professional coach. She's a pro's pro, and like this coaching staff that the Spark have been able to put together. Talked about Coach Evans earlier on. I feel like as an associate head coach beside Amber Flores, they're a good pair.
It's a strikeout to start the inning for Amber Pfizer, trying to settle in. Just 1 run allowed in the last 2 after giving up 2 in the first inning.
Yeah, and this drop ball in to the righties have been really tying up their hands. Drop ball has been the strikeout pitch of choice for Amber Pfizer today. 4 strikeouts all in the drop ball.
That was the first time the Spark leadoff hitter had not reached in the game so far. A couple singles and a walk in the first 3 frames. Now Billy Andrews, the Nebraska product, 0 for 4 in the series. Out in front of that pitch, 2-1. She was a 4th-round pick in the allocation draft, 2-time All-American, 4-year starter at Nebraska for Rhonda Revelle and company. Outside ball 3. Billy Andrews would have played with Jordy Fromm the first year had she not been injured in the first game she played at Nebraska. That was 2024 when Fromm made the move, but of course missed all but about 2 innings of that year with an injury. So Andrews and her didn't really get the opportunity to play together. That is on the outside corner, strike 3.
Amber Pfizer with a little smile after this strikeout with her curveball right at the knees, off the plate, working with Jocelyn Erickson. Again, we go back to the conversation that Erickson had with Pfizer before the game.
This is in a tough spot. Clements takes control and makes the catch. That is a flip, and Taylor Beal has been picked up out of the reserve athlete pool, who will be a rookie out of Arizona, as Zirkle crushes this to center and gone. Last year's league leader is on the board with a solo shot.
Remember, Morgan Zirkle started this game with a hard hit ball, 75 miles an hour off the bat, a single, setting the tone. That's what the leadoff hitter does. That is what Morgan Zirkle does as a veteran on this team. They look to her offensively to be the spark. No pun intended with that one at all, as they're playing the spark. But Morgan Zirkle, man, having a great game up at the plate, hitting the ball hard. That was 82 miles an hour off the bat.
Zirkle's first of the year to set the tone here in the 4th inning. It's a 4-run Chicago lead now. 9 hits today after just 2 yesterday. Aaron Koffel falls behind 0-2. So to wrap up the Talons talk, Jada Coleman and flip into the injured list. Taylor Beal and Kaylee Wyckoff activated out of the reserve athlete pool for them.
Yeah, so starting shortstop and starting center fielder on the IR.
0-2 outside. Let's go to Anna with last year's home run queen.
Okay, Morgan, very different start for you guys here today, and you've kept the momentum going. What's been the game changer?
I think we talked a lot about being together and being in our at-bats together and, you know, just wanting it for each other and knowing that we're capable of making it happen, too.
So there's a foul ball, making sure we're safe over here. I saw you give a little celebration. Is that yours or is that a team thing?
That's a team thing. You know, we came up with a lot of team things this past week to just, again, get us together on the same page. We have a lot of rookies, a lot of old people like myself, and getting us on one page has really helped us today.
Thanks, Morgan. Back to you, Juggy.
Well, she called herself old. She is probably in the prime of her softball playing career with what we saw last year and what we're seeing early this year. And she is the 3rd-year head coach now at her alma mater, Marshall. Just led them back to the postseason for the first time since she was an All-American senior there, playing for her now professional head coach, Shonda Stanton, in 2017. Koffel under this to left field, and Bubba makes the play. There's 1 out. And that Marshall team, Amanda, let me tell you, they love Morgan Zirkle. As fans, they are her biggest fans. They love watching her at the professional level. And they say, even in practice sometimes, she shows them up a little bit.
Well, don't you have to? You're a stud like Morgan Zirkle. Don't you have to? Your team kind of put them in check a little bit. Like, hey, remember how good I am too. And I'm the one coaching you up on how to do all this stuff.
They set a single-season program record with home runs this year, led by a young star, the name of Sydney Burko. Burko and Zirkle actually went to the same high school. Now Taryn Kern in a 1-0 count takes down and away 2-0. 3-0. Patient approach here from Taryn Kern. She set the single-season walks and hit by pitch record at Stanford after she transferred there from Indiana. Spent the last 3 years for the Cardinal.
We were talking about the Talons earlier, and Hannah Flippin and Jada Coleman being on the IR. The Cascade gave them their first loss of the season in Utah last night. And should be another good one today. I can't wait to watch them play against each other later. Megan Grant hit a home run again in last night's game. That is a tough ballpark to hit one out.
I think Megan Grant's 2 home runs she's hit as a pro have spanned more than 600 combined feet.
No, you're right, because one was 313 feet, the other one was 294 feet. So on average, she's hitting home runs at over 300 feet. This normal Megan Grant things.
3-2 to Kern. Ground ball for Romero, who makes the play, 2 outs. Cascade delivered the Talons their first loss of the season yesterday in a 3-1 victory. Sam Landry was tremendous. Her first career complete game, 7 innings, 5 Ks, just the 1 run allowed. And then how about earlier today in Durham, Carlin Pickens off to an incredible start, 6 innings, 1 earned. That is a complete game win for Carlin because they won 9-1 and 6.
Well, both times that Carlin has pitched for the Blaze, she's gotten some pretty hefty run support with their offense too. So Blaze have been putting up some big offensive numbers and providing a lot of support for their pitchers. And Carlin Pickens, just so great to see her start out her rookie season with so much success. She's so much fun to watch in the circle.
And she is instantly a fan favorite in Carolina, in her home state. About 4 hours from where she grew up is where their home field is, in Durham, North Carolina at Duke. Young fan picking up a souvenir.
So excited. Oh, he's so excited. I love it.
Have you ever caught a foul ball as a souvenir? Have you ever been tossed one in the stands?
No, I can't remember how I got one, but I got one. Maybe it was like it bounced off of someone and then I like ran over and grabbed the ball in an Astros game. This smile is what it's all about. So fun.
Do you recall who the ball was hit off the bat of? Okay.
Memory,
testing
Chucky,
your
is
memory.
Terrible.
You've been better though. I feel like we've been working on it.
We've made strides with my memory. That's good.
Not sure how that works exactly, but it's happened. I'm just challenging you, I guess. Erickson takes the 3-1. Full count.
This crowd is definitely buzzing a little bit more today here at home for the Chicago Bandits, and seeing 7 runs on the board. They've seen 9 hits and a 4-run lead at this point.
Erickson, and that is a great sight to see if you are a Bandit fan, to see Jocelyn Erickson square one up.
A lot of belief in Erickson, the first rounder. This Bandits team being able to square one up, pull it toward the right side.
There's no doubt Chicago is thinking more right now. They're only up 4 runs against what has been the best offense in the league so far. Still a few innings to play. This is one. It's getting to that point where you're feeling like this is a must-win. Because they have started 0-4, this is one you cannot let get away. As Kylie Sand will run over at first base. How aggressive will Shonda Stanton be with 2 outs here, and Sammy Williams at the plate? One almost got away, but Wiz jumps up quickly. Hard hit down the third baseline. Sand round second. Sliding stop. Stanton says go. Here comes the throw from Romero. And out at the plate. A great relay from Bubba to Romero, and the tag from Wiz. Second time they've...
7-time Super Bowl champion, NFL legend Tom Brady, but not to be outdone by her mom, Maureen Brady. There was a time when Tom Brady was just Maureen Brady's little brother because she was an All-American outstanding pitcher at Fresno State. And Maya told me there's quite the dispute in their family over who the best athlete is. But she said that coming from such an athletic family puts a good pressure on her. She's both challenged and inspired to dream big every single day.
There's Maureen Brady, an All-American at Fresno State when Fresno State was just rolling back in the day. Maya's mom, I'm sure game night in that household is really calm.
Or super competitive. I don't know. We'll leave it to your imagination what that might look like.
Actually, there's a piece that we've been able to see from Maya Brady that was shot at spring training, talking about being the #1 overall selection in the expansion draft. Said, I have kind of some bragging rights in the family because of that, as she was tagged where the ball came out of the glove of Kern, so she is on first base.
When we talk about her being so athletic that she has the speed too. Yes, she has the home run power, but she has speed to get down the line and put pressure on Taryn Kern in a play like this to be able to pick the ball up and make the tag very quickly. Bang, bang play. She laid down a sneaky bunt to start off the series as she led things off, and then of course she can hit the long ball.
And that will go down as a single for Brady. Camera Pfizer's got an argument there, doesn't she? Taryn Kern tagged her, but the ball came out.
Just wanting to get me going. Yeah, I do think that should have been an error. Yeah, elephant in the room, that should have been an error. I mean, she just clearly should have been out. You hold on to the ball, you're out. I don't know why that would go down as a hit.
I'm siding with you as a pitcher here.
Yeah.
2-2 count for Sydney Romero. Hard hit ball through the 5-6 hole, and here come Oklahoma City. That's what I mentioned. Still a sense of urgency for the Bandits, it feels like, on offense, and it's because they know how quickly things can change against this team.
In one swing, and that's the thing about this Spark team, is that they have hit the long balls so often. You have to be careful, especially with where they're at in their order right now. 3, 4, and 5 due up now.
Jocelyn Erickson going to call time to go talk to her pitcher, Amber Pfizer. The infield will join them in the circle, and this will be a little deep breath moment here. Don't forget the AUSL Pro Game at the Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods returns on Wednesday, August 5th at 7 Eastern on ESPN2 from Greenville. Watch AUSL stars compete and inspire the next generation of players from the Little League as part of the Summer of Softball. Visit theausl.com for more information. You pumped?
Yeah, it's always a good time. I can't believe that we're already at a place in the year. We're talking about Little League Softball World Series. This year has just flown by. I feel like we just started the college season and it's already over, and we're about to be in the middle of the pro season.
Visit worked because Pfizer gets the strike call on the next pitch. There is action in the pen. This is good news for a couple of reasons. Taylor McQuillan, one of the best arms in the league, the lefty, but we also saw her leave her first outing of the season early, so it's good to see Taylor back up and working and potentially able to come into this game.
Yeah, because we keep talking about it, Chucky, but this is a must-win game for the Bandits. They have to figure out a way to win this game, quiet the Spark bats late in the game. 4-run lead, lots of insurance here, but it just never feels comfortable with the way that the Spark can score runs so quickly. So being able to have her as an option today is huge.
Big pitch from Pfizer, 2-2 to Sherrill. Ground ball left side. Williams going to go to second. They will not get 2. So it's first and third with 1 out.
Sammy Williams putting a little touch on this throw. She was already pretty close to second base, and looked like the runner was close to running right by her. If maybe she could have tagged her, but just went ahead and did what she felt most confident doing.
So it's kind of off the handle into left field and foul. If that ball was hit just a few feet closer to third base, it likely would have been a double play for the Bandits. Bubba having a great start to the season. Did not hit for a high average last year, just .213, but it was all about the 7 home runs she hit. The pitch misses outside. This year has already hit a pair of home runs. One of them a 3-run shot yesterday.
This is back in the first inning, and yesterday's game got the spark out to a hot start off of Bree Copeland. Yesterday's starter really sneaking it over that left field wall, and the Spark just did not look back in yesterday's game with the amount of runs that they put up. A run rule win for them yesterday.
Bubba goes down looking. Big out number 2 for Pfizer.
4 looking strikeouts for Amber Pfizer in this game. She goes to her bread and butter pitch, her curveball. She's been able to get that pitch off the plate to these right-handed hitters, and Bubba can't believe it.
Now Delaney Wiz at the plate. And she fell behind 0-2 her last at bat, but still came through with a sacrifice fly. Tripled back in the first inning and drove in a run. One-two count. Delaney going to step out of the box. Take a second to compose herself. Big spot for Pfizer. Another 1-2. Back-to-back singles to start this inning before the fielder's choice to get the first out, and then a backwards K of Bubba. Crowd trying to get behind Pfizer. 2-2. Hard hit at Williams. Smothers it. And a strong throw to first. Pfizer's put up a 0 in 3 of the last 4 innings.
Something that we did all year long, and pretty cool to be able to bring it back as a tradition for the Bandits this year.
Elon Butler leads off the inning for Chicago. They've scored in all but 1 frame so far. We're seeing the offense really explode. One of those was Tiana Bell, who Jenny brought in just a couple of days ago. Talk to us. Is that the process of that pretty simple as far as Bella Dayton has to go for international duty, and you went with Tiana Bell?
I think the piece of that puzzle that got a little bit interesting is trying to find who was available to us, knowing that the reserve pool was getting a little bit smaller with some injuries within the league and everything. And so being able to find the right fit for this ball club was a really important part of it, because Bella Dayton's a big piece of our puzzle. And so with her needing to go play for Team Italy over in an international qualifying event, we needed to find the right fit. And obviously Tiana Bell stepping in a great way with a Bella bomb today.
3-1 count to Butler, who has tremendous power as well. One of the pieces we've talked about in this series specifically is that you are looking at 3 very familiar faces that were so big for you last year that are now members of the Spark, as Butler hits that into right field. I'm sure you have had some conversations with Kirk Walker. We've showed you 2 sitting.
So knowing that we wouldn't be able to protect all of those parts, I actually said goodbye to them before the draft, knowing that they were going to be picked up, because they're just not only are they incredible athletes and players, but they're maybe even better people.
Tiana Bell back up, trying to go back-to-back on her first day as a professional starter. Runner goes. Some of that aggressive behavior from Shonda Stanton, and Butler almost headed for third.
Jenny, we've seen Coach Stanton be aggressive with the base, and there were a lot of
unsaid words that needed to come out. We had a big 3.5-hour team meeting last night where we just needed to make sure that everybody was saying the things that maybe were stuck inside. And today it looks like we came out a little bit more loose, able to come out and just be able to perform and execute more free. I think sometimes the thing that steals your happiness is what you've lost and thinking about what you lost rather than what you have. And so I think this today, able to step in and be able to look at what we have and what we've been given rather than worry about who we lost.
2-0 hits the outside corner 2-1, and that sentiment has been echoed by Tiana Bell. It's also been said by Morgan Zirkle that it was about, like, let's do it for each other last night. To see that as a former player, as a coach, and now a GM, to see that kind of come to fruition, I mean, I have to think you're on the moon right now.
Well, I mean, the game's not over. I think we always just kind of wait and hold our breath to figure out, you know, how this game plays out. But more than anything, it was just the energy in the dugout that wasn't where it needed to be. And so being able to have those conversations really important.
Outside good at bat here from Tiana Bell, 3-2.
Yeah, overall, just in the league in general, Jenny, what are you most excited about? What's it feel like to be a GM in this league with where it's at going to the second season of the AUSL?
Well, obviously having year one under our belt really important, but also the expansion piece to give us the chance to know what this year looks like. I mean, we knew that the teams were all going to look very different because of the expansion, but this season having so many young rookies in our league is really important because they are so talented, and so being able to have year two hit the ground running, really important as we added 2 new teams, but 2 new head coaches and GMs.
Jessica Clements first pitch swinging, and Bubba goes back to make the catch. 2 outs. Are you cold out there, Jenny?
It is freezing, and I don't know what it is about being a Bandit right now. It was cold in Utah. Now it's cold back here in Chicago. I'm really hoping that when the Blaze come to town, they bring a little heat with their name, because this is really, I feel like I'm a lion, hair all over the place, and just it is really chilly.
You're off the hook, though. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Jenny Dalton-Hill. You talking about some of the resumes in this league from a general manager perspective? That's a 3-time national champion, national player of the year. The current, I mean, you think of all the records that have gone down. She still has one that stands, which is the all-time career RBI record that is knocked down by Romero. Butler coming home. The throw is just a bit wide. So the aggressive base running pays off for the Bandits finally. And Elon Butler, who took second earlier, comes all the way around to score.
Yeah, that taking the extra 60 feet really pays off, and just an incredible effort by Sydney Romero just to keep this on the dirt. But watch how she hits the ball with her glove, trying to get it to Sid Sherrill, understanding that Shauna Stanton is going to be aggressive to try to push that runner home. Right there, I don't know if that was accident or actually on purpose, but either way, that gave them an opportunity to make it out at home.
Zirkle to left. Bubba is staying really busy out in left field and makes the catch. More insurance for Chicago. It is yesterday 9-1 and 5, and it only took 1 hour and 27 minutes as the first pitch of the inning is belted to left, and it's caught by Clements. Over the shoulder grab for Jessica Clements, fighting the wind.
Oh my gosh, so many thoughts ran through my head. Off the bat, that's a home run. Wow, Jessie Warren being aggressive. And then the ball was in the air. I'm like, yep, it looks like it's going to sneak out of here. And then wait, I think she has a chance. Oh, she's at a bad angle, but she catches it anyway. Oh my goodness, that catch by Jessica Clements. Amber Pfizer loves that defense too, of course. Wow. All of that just happened so quickly. That was an unbelievable grab by Jessica Clements.
Second time she's made an over-the-shoulder catch this season. She's done it once in right field. That was in Utah. Now she does it here on the left side of the outfield. Big first out. So 2 pitches this inning. Over-the-shoulder catch for Clements and a hit by pitch to Haley Lee. Swing and a miss. Oh, and they almost had Lee. What is happening this inning?
It's all going so fast. The catch, a hit by pitch, a pickoff. Wow.
Jocelyn Erickson almost had the pickoff of Haley Lee, who is much closer to first base after that pitch. They're going to make a substitution and run for Haley Lee over at first. It'll be KK Madry, second-year pro. Don't forget the 2026 AUSL Championship is headed to Davis Diamond in College Station for an unforgettable weekend of professional softball. Catch the AUSL play-in game on July 23rd, and then the championship series beginning July 25th. Series passes and single-game tickets are on sale now. Visit the AUSL.com. And yes, you heard, the play-in game. That will be between the second and third ranked team in the regular season standings. It's just a one-game play-in for the championship spot. Spark off to a great start this year. 3-1 on the season, trying to become the first 4-win team, but an uphill battle in these final two frames. Billy Andrews fouls that away. 2-2 count. How about Amber Pfizer today? 5 1/3, 6 hits allowed, just 1 walk, and only 1 of the 3 runs was earned.
Already making adjustments with that walk number. She got her into a little bit of trouble against the Talons, although she pitched very well in Utah in that opening series. But Vitale just trying to get back into the swing of things with some command. And she's just done a good job of not putting much over the heart of the plate for these Spark hitters. Her misses have been down or off the plate. And Jocelyn Erickson has just been working really well with her, setting the tone even before the game, having discussions about locations.
Maybe one of the most important things we've seen in this game is Jocelyn Erickson. First one wasn't the hardest hit ball on that RBI single back up the middle, but got something to go her way, and then had a really good at bat and a hard hit ball into right fielder last time. That is in there for strike 3.
And this drop has been working for her today. She's known for her curveball, all different types of variations, backdoor, off speed, regular curve, but this is actually going to be a drop ball on the inside part of the plate. It stays up a little bit. That drop ball is staying up, almost serves as like a screwball to these right-handed hitters that she's just painting the inside corner, and it's working.
Seven strikeouts for Pfizer. She's a native of Marion, Iowa. You see the out distribution, great balance, 4 flyouts, 6 groundouts, and 7 on strikes. Was back inside that time for strike 1 to Grace Jenkins. Pfizer was actually a member of the Spark team the last 2 summers. Ground ball left side, picked up by Williams. Amber Pfizer is rolling, and the Bandits are closing in on their first win of the 2026 season. So this is an organization that's not been around quite 20 years, because there were a few years there when when Athletes Unlimited took over and there weren't the teams, but the thought of them has certainly been around over more than 20 years.
Yeah, and more professional softball games have been played here than anywhere else. This field has seen a lot of pro softball and a lot of softball greats play on it.
First baseman, 99, Sarah Burr.
Bandits actually played Team USA on this field back in 2019 ahead of the Olympic Games the following year. Team USA was kind of touring around, playing some exhibition games, and the Bandits beat them on this field. Peja Gould re-entered the game last inning for the Spark in the circle. Gave up 1 run. Now Taryn Kern against Gould.
We talked about the story of last night's game was 1 through 5 in the order for the Spark versus 1 through 5 in the order for the Bandits. Last night, 1 through 5 for the Bandits, 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. Today they have 6 hits, have scored 5 runs, pushed across 2 RBIs. Top of the lineup, getting it done for Chicago today.
"13 hits today is a season high for the Bandits. The 8 runs matches their largest total. They actually scored 8 in a 9-8 loss in 8 innings in Utah on opening week. Technically, it's still opening week. I keep thinking that we're both a little messed up on that.
Yeah, it is that time of year where I don't know what weekday it is.
This is what you're talking about, though. 7 hits in those top 5 bats today after 0 yesterday. Morgan Zirkle set the tone. They were down 2-0 going to the bottom of the first, and Zirkle came out, line shot, base hit, ended up scoring, and that started a trend of their first 4 batters in the game scoring and them taking that stadium in Morgantown singing Country Roads.
Goosebumps. Well, Georgia won big last night, too. They came out and scored early and beat Texas.
Also had the NBA Finals come to a close last night. There's a lot of things happening right now, but it's also, we're making way for more baseball and softball. Erickson called safe at first. I think the Spark want to challenge this. Joe Evans was the first one at the top of the stair, but I'm not sure that they're going to. No, they will challenge it.
Why not? Ooh. Erickson just snuck her foot in there and made that a lot closer than I think we thought it was going to be.
Mark, challenging the safe ball at first base. The play is under further review.
Keisha Gould was kind of blocking our view there. I don't know if we're going to have enough looks to overturn it because we just can't see the play once it gets into her glove because the coach is blocking it, the pitcher is blocking it.
This one enough for you?
Maybe. Man, it's bang bang.
That's going to go down as a 3-hit day for Jocelyn Erickson. 3 singles. She'll take it.
Yes, she will.
First and second for Sammy Williams. This is a very dangerous bat. She hit their first home run of the year in Salt Lake City, and it felt like every time she stepped to the plate, even if she didn't get a base hit, she smoked something.
She's been hitting the ball hard. Days she didn't have anything to show for it, days that she does have something to show for it. Her last double was 75 miles an hour off the bat.
Bree Copeland is running out at second base for Taryn Kern. Williams in the air. This is tailing away from Brady. The wind just pushed it all the way into the gap. 1 run will score. Williams is into second. It almost looked like a wind gust caught that ball mid-air.
It absolutely did, and this wind is howling. Remember, gust of 30 miles an hour, and Maya Brady has just been so good defensively, covering a lot of ground, showing off her arm, but this ball just continued to move away from her, and she was moving hard towards it too, but just continued to get up in that wind stream and be just out of her reach.
Obviously, that's a ball that has some natural drift to it, but you could just tell that was different.
It got, once it was about halfway in the air, it seemed like it just started to trail even more toward right field.
It is a 6-run lead for the Bandits, so they would love to finish this early. The winning run would be standing at second base in the form of Sammy Williams as Lindsey Grine re-enters. So we've seen Peja Gould come back in. We now see Lindsey Grine re-enter into this game for Oklahoma City. See her numbers so far, 3 hits, just 1 run. It was unearned. We are back tomorrow. Well, we're not back. The AUSL is back tomorrow with a doubleheader on ESPN2. The Texas Volts and Carolina Blaze. Remember, that's just a 2-game series. Carlin Pickens gave them a gem today. Also saw the debut of Nigeri Kennedy. And then after that one, at 9:30 Eastern, the Portland Cascade and the Utah Talons. We'll see what the situation is. Game 2 is coming up later tonight. And we are back on Tuesday to finish this series in Rosemont before we will head to Portland, where they'll have their home opener on Thursday night.
So much softball coming up. I will be watching that doubleheader tomorrow night, and then we'll be back here on Tuesday calling Game 3 for this one. which is looking like it's going to be a rubber match for the second time in a row for the Spark. They won their opening series against the Volts via a walk-off hit by pitch. Won them that series in the 7th inning.
You mentioned the connection earlier, but you see Sydney Romero kind of leading the charge in that huddle, and that's probably a comfortable sight for Lindsey Grind, who played at Oregon. Sydney Romero, an assistant coach there. A calming voice she's been used to hearing in her time in Eugene. Here's Elon Butler. She'd like to end this game right here. 1 out, 2 on.
When you know how aggressive that Shauna Stanton has been on the base pass today, that she is going to be aggressive with Sammy Williams sitting at second base, understanding what she represents. If Elon Butler can find a gap here.
Butler ground ball. Cheryl looks the runner back, and there's 2 outs. Tiana Bell up for the 4th time. She never faced Grind. She was the reason Grind got put into this game in the 3rd inning. Hit that 2-run home run off Cassidy Curd. Ball 1.
And Tiana Bell is a free swinger. Likes to look early in the count. She is very powerful. I just can't get over her bat speed and just the free swinger that she is.
A little behind that pitch. This crowd has been treated to a much better performance by the Bandits today. Oklahoma City just took the wind out of this building yesterday, right out of the gates. Three-one count. Hard hit through the left side. Shonda Stanton says go. This is the winning run, and the Bandits will walk it off in 6 innings. 11-3 winners. Their first win of the season, and Tiana Bell, their newest member, had a massive